Guess the country in Europe. Level 1, easy. This is actually a group of 4 countries that are united together in one nation with a single king. The capital city is London, and the 4 countries are England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. What is the name of the nation? The answer is the United Kingdom. Remember to count how many answers you get right so you can find out if you're a genius at the end. The next country is the largest country in the world, and most of it is in Asia, but even the small part that is in Europe is more than 7 times bigger than any other country in Europe. The capital is Moscow. What country is it? Russia. If you think this is easy, just wait till we reach the impossible level 5. This next country is famous for its food including bread, cheese, wine, and escargot, which is the local word for snails. The capital city is Paris. Did you guess France? Next up is a country that has been destroyed during a long war with Russia. The capital city is Kiev. What's your guess? Ukraine is the right answer. This next country was at the center of 2 world wars and has the largest population and economy in Europe. The capital is Berlin. What could it be? The answer is Germany. Some people say the next country looks like a boot. Its capital city, Rome, was also the capital of the famous Roman Empire. What country is it? Italy is the correct answer. Down in this corner of Europe is the country that sent Christopher Columbus on his famous voyage to the New World. The capital city is Madrid. What is the country? The answer is Spain. The next country is on an island, and it's famous for Celtic music and speaking English with a thick accent. The capital is Dublin. Ireland is the correct answer. Next is a country with tall mountains covered with snow, and it also has many famous banks. This country doesn't actually have a capital, but Bern is the federal city, which is more or less the same thing. The country is Switzerland. I hope you're ready for level 2, medium difficulty. Up here in the frozen north is a country that is often called the Land of 1,000 Lakes. The capital is Helsinki. Think quick. Was your answer Finland? Next to Finland is a country that is famous for its Viking history, but it isn't the only place where Vikings lived, so be careful. The capital is Stockholm. The answer is Sweden. Here is another Scandinavian country that is famous for its Viking history and beautiful fjords. The capital is Oslo. Did you say Norway? This cold island is a land of volcanoes, geysers, hot springs, and glaciers. The capital is Reykjavik. Iceland is the answer. This is where Legos were invented, and this country also has had a monarchy for more than 1,200 years. The capital is Copenhagen. If you guessed Denmark, you're right. Nearby is a low country of rivers, canals, and land reclaimed from the sea. It's an important hub of shipping and the second largest exporter of food in the world. The capital is Amsterdam. Did you guess the Netherlands? Next door is a country that is famous for waffles, chocolate, and fries. The capital city of Brussels is also the headquarters of the European Union and home of the fictional character Tintin. If you didn't say Belgium, remember Belgian waffles the next time you take the quiz. Down in the corner of Europe is a small, sunny country that once built a trading empire that stretched from Brazil in the west to Japan in the east. The capital city, Lisbon, was destroyed by a huge earthquake and tsunami back in 1755. Portugal is the right answer. Down in this corner of Europe is a land of many islands and the birthplace of democracy and Alexander the Great. The capital city is Athens. The country is Greece, but in Greek it's called Ελλάδα. Over in Eastern Europe is a large country that has often been invaded and divided by aggressive neighbors. The Auschwitz concentration camp was located here, where more than 1 million Jews were murdered by Nazis during World War II. The capital city is Warsaw. Did you know it's Poland? Locked in the middle of Europe is the birthplace of Mozart, Freud, and Hitler. Its capital is the beautiful city of Vienna. Austria is the answer, and now the quiz gets harder because we're at level 3, difficult. This country is home to many medieval castles and fortresses, and the capital is Bucharest. The answer is Romania. The Danube River divides this country in half, and it also has the second largest thermal lake in the world. The capital is Budapest. Did you get Hungary as the answer? This is the largest of the 3 Baltic countries located next to the Baltic Sea. This was the last country in Europe to adopt Christianity, and probably the first to adopt basketball. The capital is Vilnius. Lithuania is the name. Just to the north is another Baltic beauty, also filled with basketball fans. Its capital, Riga, is also famous for its architecture. Did you say Latvia? The last Baltic country is famous for high-tech innovation and old-fashioned saunas. The capital is Tallinn. Estonia is the answer. This tiny country has more than 60 museums and is one of the richest countries in the world per person. The capital has the same name as the country, which is Luxembourg. The next country is the smallest in the world with a population of less than 1,000 people and an official language that has been dead for more than 1,000 years. But it's the home of a very influential person in the world. The answer is Vatican City, located within the city of Rome. The next country is on the shores of the Black Sea. The capital is Sofia, which means wisdom. The name of this country hasn't changed in 1,300 years, so you should know it. The answer is Bulgaria. To the west is one of several countries that used to be part of Yugoslavia before it broke apart. In ancient times, it was the birthplace of many emperors of the Roman Empire. The capital is Belgrade. The country is Serbia. This is another country that is located partly in the Balkan Peninsula with beautiful beaches on the Adriatic Sea. The capital is Zagreb. Croatia is the correct answer. This country has one of the largest forests in Europe, and the people here eat lots of potatoes. The capital is Minsk. Did you guess Belarus? Okay, this next country has lots of beautiful castles, and its capital is Prague. Can you spell Czechia? It's also known as the Czech Republic. The country next door also has lots of castles, and it also has more than 600 caves. The capital is Bratislava. Please don't name your kid that. Slovakia is the answer, and now we're at level 4, very difficult. This country has more waterfalls than Italy, France, and Germany combined. And the first word in its name probably means running water. The capital is Sarajevo. Good luck spelling this long name. Bosnia and Herzegovina. The official borders of this small country include a breakaway region called Transnistria. Since it is one of the least visited countries in Europe, not many people know about it. The capital is Chisinau. The country is Moldova. This small mountainous country has more than 750,000 military bunkers. The capital is Tirana. Albania is the answer. Next to Albania is another small country that was part of the kingdom that Alexander the Great inherited from his father. It also has an ancient mountaintop observatory similar to Stonehenge. The capital is Skopje. Did you guess North Macedonia? Moving to the north, there is a small country that declared independence from Serbia in 2008, but is not recognized by every country. Its capital is Pristina. The answer is Kosovo. Here is another small country in the Balkans that many people have never heard of, even though it has the deepest canyon in Europe. The capital is Podgorica. Did you say Montenegro? Up here next to Italy is a small country with more than 10,000 caves and lots of wild bears. The capital is Ljubljana. Can you even pronounce that? Slovenia is the answer. This small and sunny island is where the Apostle Paul was shipwrecked on his way to Rome. The capital, Valletta, was founded by the Knights of St. John. The country is Malta. This country is mostly in Asia, but this part over here is actually in Europe. Right where the two continents join is the city of Istanbul, which was called Constantinople before it was captured by the Ottomans in 1453. The capital of the country is Ankara. Turkey is the country, and it's not a bird. This island in the Mediterranean Sea isn't really in Europe, but it is a member of the European Union anyway. The capital is Nicosia. Did you guess Cyprus? This city on the corner of France is the second smallest country in the world. It has one of the most difficult motor racetracks in the world, and 1/3 of the people who live here are millionaires. The answer is Monaco. Okay, are you ready for the impossible level 5? This tiny country within the borders of Italy claims to be the oldest country in the world, and it's not Vatican City. You've got 3 seconds. San Marino is the correct answer. Here's another tiny country that is sandwiched between Switzerland and Austria. Once a year on the nation's holiday, everyone in the country is invited to a party at the prince's castle in the capital, Vaduz. Did you guess Liechtenstein? This tiny country is located between France and Spain. According to tradition, it was created more than 1200 years ago by Charlemagne. The answer is Andorra, and the capital city is Andorra la Vella. This country is located on the southern slopes of the Caucasus Mountains, which is the border between Europe and Asia, but it is usually considered to be part of Europe. The capital is Tbilisi. The locals call the country Sakartvelo, but what is it called in English? Georgia, not to be confused with the state in the USA. This country is also located in the Caucasus Mountains, but another border is the shore of the Caspian Sea. It is famous for its mini mud volcanoes. The capital is Baku. Did you say Azerbaijan? Okay, we're almost done. This country is almost certainly beyond the geographic borders of Europe, but culturally it identifies with Europe. During World War I, many of the people here were victims of a genocide. The capital is Yerevan. Armenia is the answer. The last country is actually located in Central Asia, but a small fraction of its territory extends into Eastern Europe. The capital is Astana. I hope you said Kazakhstan. There were a total of 51 questions. How many did you get right? By the way, the first 100 people to get a perfect score will be added to the list of super geniuses in the description, so share your score in a comment. If you're not a genius yet, you can try as many times as you want, or you can take another quiz.